People don't usually tear their way out of safety. But that's exactly what they did. On a frozen mountain pass in the dead of night, 9 experienced hikers sliced their way out of their own tent and ran barefoot into a storm so brutal, survival should have been impossible. Whatever they were running from was worse than freezing to death. This is the Dyatlov Pass Incident, a true horror mystery that terrified the entire world. In early 1959, a group of young, highly trained hikers set out on an expedition across the Ural Mountains. These were not amateurs. They were students, engineers, war veterans, people who knew how to survive extreme cold, darkness, and isolation. They documented everything: photos, journals, detailed plans. Their route took them through a remote mountain pass avoided by local tribes. The locals had a name for the mountain, a name that meant, "Do not go there." The hikers laughed it off. They were confident. That confidence would not save them. On the night of February 1st, something happened inside that tent. We don't know what it was, but we know how they reacted. Search teams later found the tent collapsed under snow. From the outside, it looked ordinary, but investigators noticed something horrifying. The tent had been cut open from the inside. Long slashes, jagged tears. No attempt to open it properly. They fled, leaving behind boots, leaving behind coats, leaving behind food and equipment. In temperatures colder than -30 degrees, some of them ran barefoot. Others wore only socks. Who does that? Who chooses certain death unless something else feels worse? The first bodies were found near a tree line. 2 hikers lay frozen beside the remains of a small fire. Their hands were burned as if they had desperately tried to keep warm. One had skin missing from his knuckles, signs of panic, climbing, scraping. Another body was found lying face down in the snow, arms stretched forward as if crawling back toward the tent, and failing. But it gets worse. When the snow finally melted months later, the remaining hikers were discovered in a ravine. Their injuries made no sense. One woman had no tongue. Another had massive chest trauma, ribs crushed inward without breaking the skin. A skull fracture so severe that doctors said it required the force of a high-speed car crash. There were no vehicles, no footprints of attackers, no weapons, no signs of a fight. And then came the detail that stunned investigators worldwide. Some of the hikers' clothing tested positive for radiation. The case was immediately sealed. Files were classified. Families were warned not to ask questions. The official cause of death? A compelling natural force. That explanation satisfied no one. Over the decades, theories exploded across the world. An avalanche? Experts say the slope was too gentle. Military experiments? The region was near secret Soviet test zones. Infrasound? Low-frequency wind patterns that can induce panic and hallucinations. Or something else entirely. Some hikers who visited the area later reported strange lights in the sky. Others claimed to hear low, unnatural sounds at night. Locals continued to avoid the pass entirely. The most chilling part? The hikers didn't die in one place. They scattered, as if they were running from something that followed them into the darkness. Even today, no explanation fully fits every detail. Why cut the tent from the inside? Why flee without clothes? Why injuries that mimic immense force with no visible cause? Why radiation? The mountain still stands, silent, cold, unforgiving. And the pass still carries the name of the man who led them there. Dyatlov Pass.
A place where 9 people faced something so terrifying, they chose the frozen night instead. And whatever it was never found.